either to or back to my channel. Today we're doing a Q&A whilst I do my makeups. Someone suggested doing a Q&A and I was like, I've never actually done this. There's probably a lot of things that you don't actually know about me. The most asked question was, quite obviously, when did I start dyeing my hair? So I first dyed my hair, I don't know if anyone remembers because this was like 10 years ago, if anyone remembers like having, dip dye. Sorry, that took me so long to figure out what that's called. Yeah, so there was a thing in like 2014, 15 kind of region called dip dye. And it was literally, you would dye the bottom of your hair bleach blonde and try to blend it in to your natural hair colour, but it never usually worked for anyone. I don't know if it was a massive thing in America, but it was a massive thing in the UK. Couldn't tell you why. So anyway, I did that. I used to have really long hair and I dip dyed it. And I had that for a while and it did sort of blend into my hair eventually, but I'm gonna be honest, it was like a harsh line to begin with. And we bought like a box kit. Only time I've ever used boxed bleach as opposed to like the one that you make yourself. So yeah, that was that was the first time I that was the first time I bleached my hair, but that was the first time dye had ever touched my hair because I wasn't really allowed to dye my hair. I'm in the UK, right? And pretty much every school here, unless you're at like college, has a dress code, and that dress code includes no piercings in your face, very minimal piercings in your ears. Like I literally had this in my ear and I used to get told off for it all the time, and you're only allowed to have natural hair colors. And I literally mean like even if you had like dark red hair and it was dyed, like you'd get in trouble for it. So dumb, which, you know, I think every single person that went to a UK school can agree with. And also the school uniforms suck, man, they're so ugly. So yeah, anyway, I then dyed my hair probably over the summer, I think. Maybe it wasn't over the summer. Anyway, I used like a boxed, I think it was like maybe one of the Garnier ones. I'll find a picture of it. It was just one of their like plum colors. It was a plum like color and it was just like a semi-permanent. And then obviously I put that on my hair. My hair was very, very dark, as I'm sure you can imagine. And people would ask me if I was goth. It was kind of crazy. Like I was definitely emo at the time, but I just thought it was really funny that the second I dyed my hair a dark color, people started asking me if I was goth. I believe I was about 14 at this point, maybe 13, 14, something around that region. I was in year 10, so 14, yeah, like just turned 14. And then the school wouldn't let us dye our hair, so I had to just leave it, and it faded to like this really ugly ginger color. Not that ginger is ugly, I actually really like ginger hair. It's just that my roots were very long and they were like a mousy brown, and then I just had this like faded color and it just didn't look cute basically. So that happened for a while, and then I dyed my hair dark brown because I was like, I'm not allowed to have coloured hair at school. So I remember I dyed it purple again over the summer, and then when September came I dyed it dark brown, and I had it like that for a long time actually, until I eventually started box dyeing my hair maroon again, and I did that for about 2 years, and then I had my hair destroyed by a hairdresser, which I'm actually going to make a story time about because I feel like it happens to everyone. Obviously I didn't destroy my hair myself, someone else did it for me. That happened and that sucked. So I'm gonna make a story time about that. And it was with bleach too. It wasn't just like, oh, like the dye she used came out bad. Like she bleached my hair and fucked it up basically. Another question I got was about my job. So up until 10 weeks ago, I worked in retail. I think it's fine to tell you now because I don't work there anymore. I worked in Tesco. I worked in Tesco from age 17 to 23, which is how old I am now. But now I work for a company and I run their social medias. So I run their Instagrams, TikToks, YouTubes, like YouTube Shorts, and their Pinterest. So yeah, it's really nice being in a creative field after being in retail for such a long time, because I worked at the same Tesco's for about like 5.5 years, going on 6. Like I was hoping I would be out of there by Christmas just gone, and I was still there, and I was like, well, this sucks, because I just really wanted to leave. It took me a long time to get a job, so just like in case you're wondering, I started applying for jobs like last July, and then I literally only just got a job. But there's not that many jobs out there in social media that aren't like a manager role, a supervisor role, things like that, which I'm obviously not qualified for. I have a degree in film and TV. I got a first, but I'm gonna be honest, even though I got like the highest grade you can, like, I mean, it didn't help me at all, but you know, I got a first. I did all right. I finally had my current employers, they took a chance on me because they liked me, and that was very nice of them. And also it was part-time, but it's still part-time now, but I'm going up to 4 days a week, which is really nice, really good for my bank account, because your girl is not exactly rolling in it. So that's my job basically at the moment. I don't want to give you too many details because like I don't need you to be able to find it, but I love it and I'm really enjoying it, and it means I can wear cool outfits, because up until I got this job, I was wearing Tesco uniform, which is not cute at all. But yeah, that's what's happening in my work life at the moment, my career. Somebody asked me if I have any pets. I do indeed. I have 3 cats. I feel like I probably come across as a cat person. I'm saying I'm a cat person, but I've actually never had dogs, so I don't know what it's like. I have a cat called Chewy, a cat called Obi, and a cat called Summer. Summer only has 3 legs. She was born like on a farm and she got run over by a tractor. They tried to catch her and help her, but she didn't want to be caught. So she escaped with 1 dead, like destroyed leg, and then came back 6 months later with like 3 kittens, dragging her still broken leg behind her. And they obviously took her to a vet and rehomed her kittens, which made me really sad, not gonna lie. You know, dealt with her leg, hence why she only has 3 legs now. And then there's a lady that lives not far away from us who has a stables, and she keeps a lot of like stray cats in there. You know, cats that they're not really too keen on being housed, if that makes sense. But Summer took a liking to us, I guess, and so we didn't steal her. The woman knows that we have her, and she's very happy that, you know, we have her. She's adorable. She's very cute. And I also used to have a cat called Solo. I will say, just the Star Wars names, when we adopted our first 2 cats, Obi and Chewy, the kids that we adopted them from, like the family, the kids wanted us to keep their names, and we just felt bad and we're like, okay, cool. And then when we got Solo, we were like, well, we might as well stick to the Star Wars theme, so we called him Solo. But sadly, he didn't get like run over, but he got clipped, we think, by a car, and he sadly passed away, which sucked because he was only 4. And also I literally was trying to like write my last essay of my degree when it happened, and I'd also just had the flu, so I'd been given like 3 extensions for my essay, and then I had to email my lecturer again and being like, can I have another extension because my cat just died? And I was like, I feel like this sounds like I'm making this up. Eventually wrote my essay and sent it in, but that was not a fun time, as I'm sure you can imagine, because he died very suddenly and it was fucking horrible. He's now on our mantelpiece in a box because he was cremated, but love him always, and he was very adorable and funny. But yeah, so I do have pets. Did have 4, now have 3. This is a fun question. Someone asked me about my tattoo plans. Now, I did post a video about the fact that I don't think I'll ever regret my tattoos, because 90% of the year no one ever knows I have them. I have 4 tattoos. I'm actually getting one on Thursday, getting a new one, very excited. My plans for my tattoos, I'm gonna be honest, like I don't have like full plans, because I'm very much like, I don't know if I want tons or if I just want to like get them kind of like sporadically over the next however long, because that's sort of what I've been doing. So I always wanted tattoos. I always wanted to get at least one, and I got my butterfly tattoo done when I was, oh my god, 20? I want to say 20. I would have got tattoos earlier, but COVID hit when I turned 18, so yeah. And then I got a kind of large peony piece on my upper arm, just above the butterfly, and then I got a fern on the, like here. That is like inspired by The Last of Us. I did want like Ellie's tattoo for a while, and then I was like, no, I'd rather get something that's like, you're not gonna know that that's what it is when you look at it, but like to me I know what it is, if that makes sense. I actually had to get it reworked, because when I got it done, the artist, like I kept asking them to shade it like over and over again. I was like, can you shade it more? I want more shading. And then they were like, I think you should just come back in like a month or so, and I was like, I don't want to come all the way back to London just to get shading done. Anyway, I went and got it like reworked by someone else. Technically I've been tattooed 5 times, but I only have 4 tattoos. And then I have one on my knee, which I love very much, but good lord, that hurt like a bitch. So my tattoo artist, she was the same one that did my peony. She was pregnant at the time, and my fear was that my knee was going to jerk and I was going to kick her somehow. After she drew the design on, she was like, why are you doing this to yourself? Given the fact that she's tatted from the neck down, and I was like, why are you telling me that? Why would you say that to me? Like, she was kind of joking, but it did hurt. My next tattoo is going to be more flowers, as I'm sure you can, I think you get the vibe. I'm gonna get some trumpet flowers tattooed. I didn't realize, I think it was like a deep-seated memory, but in the house that we lived in when I was very, very young, the previous owners of the house had a house in Spain, and they brought back some, must have been seeds, anyway, trumpet flowers. They had those and they put them in that garden, so when they moved out and we moved in, they were still there. They were orange, and I literally said to my mum, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting a trumpet flower tattoo, and she went, do you know why you like those? And I was like, no, because in my brain I was like, I don't know, Coraline vibes, and she was like, no. So yeah, anyway, that was completely accidental, but I'm gonna get it up the back of my arm. I'm still unsure as to what to do with this arm, because it's pretty much like free real estate right now, and I'm trying to save big spots just in case. I don't know, because my plans for my tattoos are so sporadic, I just never know. I do really like ornamental tattoos, but I just don't know whether to get them or not yet, because I'm worried that I don't know. It's like I have like commitment issues to tattoos, even though I already have 4, and I'm getting a 5th one, so I don't know. But my plans are probably get more, I just don't know where or when. I don't know. So they're not really plans, they're like a guesstimate. Someone also asked if there are any hair colors that I would like to try, like any other ones. I'm gonna be honest, not really. I'd love to do pastel colors, but that, I don't think that that's fucking possible. Would like to maybe do green at some point, but I mean, I kind of already did that by accident and I didn't hate it, but I don't know if that's something I'd be able to commit to or not. I'd love to go back to blue or mix some blue in. I'm thinking of the next time I dye my hair to do like calico hair, but with blue and purple. I think that would be really fun. I might mix green in with calico, maybe. That would probably be something I would do, but it would be more of like a bluey green. I have dreams, but I don't know if I could live them out. Someone asked me what my favorite TV shows are. Oh, it's such a hard question. My favorite show of all time, just based on how many times I've watched it, is Friends. I'm sorry, I know that's a really boring answer. Friends is my comfort show. I literally can walk into a room, hear 2 lines from an episode and know which one is on the telly. Another comfort show would definitely be How I Met Your Mother, even though I actually hate the ending. I don't really know who my favorite character in How I Met Your Mother is, because they're all like equally do terrible things. I don't even know who my favorite character in Friends is either. Maybe Phoebe. I do like Phoebe a lot. I definitely take a lot of fashion inspo from her. I also love Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's an amazing show. I don't like Walter White. He's a horrible person. Like, I know that like the common person to hate in that show is Skylar, but I'm not being fucking funny. If my husband started selling drugs, I'd lose the plot as well, alright? Let's be so real with ourselves here. Oh dude, Killing Eve. Killing Eve is a great show. Fleabag, also great. I don't know if I have a top favourite. That's really hard to answer. Last of Us. I'm also a Last of Us like a game fan anyway. I've actually met Ashley Johnson. That was the craziest moment of my entire life, by the way. And I definitely word vomited in her face. She doesn't remember who I am, so it's fine. Like, I love the show, but the game will always be like my fave. But the show is still amazing. Like, truly, I really genuinely enjoyed the show. And Bella Ramsey did a great job. I don't care what you say. If you think she didn't, I really don't fucking care about your opinion. I feel like the second I stop filming this video, I'm gonna remember all of my favourite shows. I did just start watching Yellow Jackets. Really enjoying it so far, actually. It's fucking really weird. Please no spoilers. I don't know what happens, okay? Please leave me be. And I also just finished the most recent season of Invincible. Great show. Oh my god. I also love Bob's Burgers. Like, I do watch a lot of shows, but my memory's so awful that I actually don't even know if I remember most of them. At no point did I ever get to the point, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't even see this question until right now. Do I play video games? Kind of. I'm not good at it, but I will play them. My favorite one, as I'm sure you can imagine, The Last of Us. Hands fucking down. Best fucking game. I love it so much. The second one, also amazing. I love both of them. Absolutely gut-wrenching. Destroyed me in so many ways. Another favorite of mine is definitely like Life is Strange. I love that one, the first one. I love that. I've played it as well. I've also played both The Last of Us games. I just watched them before I played them because I didn't have the device to play them on. Animal Crossing, one of my favorite games ever. I love Outlast as well. I've never actually played that though because I think that would scare the absolute shit out of me. Beyond Two Souls, that's a fucking sick game. Those are my like top favorites. But yeah, The Last of Us is hands down my favorite game of all fucking time. All time. Like hands down. It's not even a competition, to be honest with you. I love it so much. Shaped me as a human. So did Life is Strange, actually. Like those two games like really like affected my soul, I think. Someone also asked me if I travel a lot. No. I don't. Unfortunately, I can't afford it. I went to Canada like nearly 2 years ago for my cousin's wedding. Good lord, was that an expensive holiday. Up until that point, I'd never left Europe, if that gives you any kind of an inclination as to how little I travel. Like I've been to Spain a couple of times and like France, and I went to Germany once on German exchange when I was like 13. That was a terrifying experience. Like it was fun, but it was also terrifying because obviously you just get there and they're like, here you go, here's the family that you're staying with for 10 days. And then I've also been to Greece once, but we actually accidentally went in the off season, and also they were all recovering from the fact they'd been shut down for 3 years from COVID. So where we stayed was like genuinely a ghost town. I'm going on holiday very soon. I'm going to Bulgaria, which is very fun. The holiday was a gift, which I very much appreciate because otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford to go away. Hate that, but it's the truth. Yeah, like when me and my family would go on holiday, it would usually be within the UK. I'd love to go to Asia, but I cannot afford it. Someone asked me what kind of music I listen to. I'm gonna be honest, it kind of is quite sporadic. Like I'll listen to like Chapel Roan, and sometimes I'll listen to Sabrina Carpenter, sometimes I'll listen to like Fall Out Boy, Paramore. It kind of flip-flops. It's like my music taste is like very much like, maybe I'll listen to Mazzy Star, maybe I'll listen to Post Malone. At the moment, I'm mentally preparing myself because I'm seeing 21 Pilots next month. I'm excited, but it's gonna rip my soul into pieces. It's the third time I've seen them because I haven't seen them since 2019. I've seen a lot of people, like, I think the thing is because I never went abroad or anything, like any money that I had in my teens was spent seeing my favorite bands. My rap sheet when it comes to countries is very, very low, but my rap sheet when it comes to artists I've seen is quite high. Tickets just weren't as expensive as they are now. Like the most I'd pay for a ticket is like 80 quid back then, like maximum. Usually they'd be 50 to 60 pounds. Some of them were even 40 quid. I'm pretty sure I saw Panic at the Disco like for 40 quid in like 2015. Someone asked if all my tutorials are done in one take. They are. I don't normally do anything that's particularly like prone to failing or like having any issues when it comes to my hair. I've definitely like done hairstyles and they've gone wrong and I just didn't post them because I couldn't get it to work. Like sometimes that does happen, but not a lot. Someone asked for a piercing tour. Now I'm gonna be honest, you can kind of see all of them. I have 12 piercings. I have 2 in my face and 5 in each ear. I have my rook done, my industrial done. I have my, I don't know what this is called, cartilage, whatever. And I have my daith pierced as well in this ear. And then I just have like 3 lobe piercings, whatever you want to call them. In terms of more piercings, there's quite a lot I'd like to get. I love piercings, but unfortunately piercings don't love me. My body hates healing piercings. It's honestly crazy, like the amount of dedication I have to put into getting a piercing. At that point, I'd actually rather just get a tattoo. Okay, last question. Someone asked if I had any unpopular opinions when it comes to hair dyeing. I don't know if I necessarily have any unpopular opinions, but my opinion about people just blindly dyeing their hair, bleaching their hair specifically, like, wrong. And I'm like, there are so many resources, like you can literally just Google it. Like it's not hard. And essentially my unpopular opinion is basically please do your research before you bleach and dye your hair, because I don't know, people just don't know things, and it's fine to not know things, but Google it. Some people, it's kind of like one way or the other. People think that your hair is incredibly fragile and they don't want to touch it, and they think that touching it with bleach will absolutely destroy it, which is not the case if you do it correctly. And then there are other people who just go, oh well, I'll just do it and it'll be fine. And I'm like, no, there are consequences to these actions. Please don't do that. It's like when people have a perm after they've had like their hair bleached and then their hair fries off, and I'm like, why did you do that to yourself? It does stress me out, but equally I am very happy to answer people's questions. I do get a lot of questions, so I'm really sorry if I don't get to it, especially when it's direct messages. It can just be a bit overwhelming when I get a lot of them, even though I do appreciate them. But like, even if you double message me, I won't be offended. Just like, do it. That's pretty much all the questions I got. I really got more than I was expecting. I appreciate the fact that you guys are interested in me as a human, because I feel like obviously my hair's very much the main part of my content, which is fine by me, but I you know, if I want to have a sustainable platform, I kind of need people to like me for me as well. Yeah, I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.